right, so good morning again and welcome to the second GP orientation session. So the purpose of this session, as I was saying before, is to sort of provide information to you all on the GP Innovate competition. And as you know, this is an innovation competition for tertiary level students in Jamaica, university and college students. The competition is open to all persons who are registered to a university. And we just ask that the university give approval for the persons to participate. Unlike many other competitions, the GP Innovate competition is one that deals with teams of students rather than an individual student. And there are some really exciting prizes available for the winners of this competition. And of course, those who don't win also get the benefit of feedback, which can enable them to refine their inventions and to advance them to the stage of innovation. So the purpose of the GP Innovate, as we would have said elsewhere, is to stimulate innovation in Jamaica. But above that, to provide a platform where students can not just get prizes and then that's the end of it. There's an opportunity for them to network, rub shoulders with entrepreneurs, and potentially have their inventions commercialized, which would then make them into innovations. So that part of it is the part that gets us excited. Second thing is that this competition allows for, at least the winners will assist them in moving forward to international competitions, such as South Summit, which is actually held in Spain and Brazil. So it provides a platform where you can then refine your invention, your presentation, and then advance to international competitions with the benefit of potentially winning those as well. And that would be fantastic, both for the students and for Jamaica, and of course for GP. So Dr. Marcus Goff has joined me, and I will now bring up the screen. If you just give me a minute, I'll bring up the screen with the presentation that Marcus will be delivering for us this morning. All right, Marcus, come back in the hot seat. There you go. And some persons have already started to ask questions.
Well, interested.
Yes, so they're all interested. They're very excited about this competition. It's GP.
A good reason.
Yes, of course. Marcus, over to you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Allen. I want to thank again the Growth Perspectives team. Always looking to encourage innovation in Jamaica and in the Caribbean. And we are a great and innovative set of people. Sometimes we just need to have the tools to be able to maximize the opportunities. So I'm pleased to be here again with you this morning, and I'll be taking you through this presentation looking at intellectual property and the rules of the competition, and just to encourage you again with some tools to be able to maximize the context of your innovations that you may be working on, whether in school, university already, working on projects and so forth. But oftentimes, may not necessarily be aware of the potential that is out there through your innovations. So, as you heard, I'm Dr. Marcus Goff, and you just heard from Dr. Joel Allen, co-founder and executive of Growth Perspectives, executive chairman, and the ideator of this competition. And I say I'm going to take you through just now with some aspects of what we think you need to know about the competition, about how intellectual property can enhance your innovations. So as you've heard already from Dr. Allen, GP Innovate is an innovation competition designed to nurture the culture of innovation by providing a platform for youth in Jamaica to showcase their inventions and their ideas. As I say, we know that we are a creative people and we want to be able to unearth and to facilitate, further opportunities for those innovations. The competition will offer the opportunity for participants to interact with potential long-term mentors, partners, and funders who can help to co-monetize projects. And that is the expectation. Once we have, of course, the winners, we will aim to assist through those opportunities. What is different about this competition? GP Innovate, like other local innovation competitions, helps to stimulate innovation in Jamaica. Yet, unlike other competitions, GP Innovate aims to directly facilitate long-term growth and development for innovation and for innovators. It creates a space where participants can not only make connections with potential partners and investors, but also have the opportunity for mentorship as they refine innovations or ideas. Overall, GP Innovate seeks to nurture a culture of innovation, teamwork, and bring ideas forward with students. As you've heard, the competition seeks to focus on teams and facilitating and encouraging teams. So what are the competition categories? We have agro-processing and manufacturing, we have services and technology, and we have a science category, as well as a wildcard category, right? And so if your innovation fits in any of these categories, right, and you want to enter the competition, then this is the competition for you, right? If you're not sure whether it fits in one of these categories, then feel free to contact the GP Innovation team, and we'll be glad to assist you with that query, right? But these are the areas that we're focusing on. And so you might have a new idea, or maybe not necessarily a new idea, maybe it's an improvement on an existing, invention, right? Or an existing process, something that makes our lives easier in some respects, that maybe saves costs, right? That assists us in terms of health, making things happen more quickly, more efficiently, right? To improve and increase revenue and yields from our culture, etc. It's really wide, and our aim is not to have it limited, so that we have the ability to attract and encourage innovation in all these several areas. So again, we encourage you to think widely and broadly, think outside of the box, right? Think of what particular problem you can identify and possibly a technical solution that can help to resolve the difficulties or make it easier for persons who are working in any of these areas. We look forward to receiving your entries. So how will those entries be judged? Well, our criteria are, as you see them on the screen. Firstly, novelty. What we mean by novelty is this idea, this invention, this new process or procedure that you are coming with, new in any respect, right? Again, it may not necessarily be totally new, but it's a new way of doing a particular aspect of an already existing invention. We call it an improvement on an existing invention, right? Or as maybe it's novel, it's new in the context of how it does what had been done before. Maybe it does it more quickly, more efficiently, more environmentally friendly. Maybe it saves costs in how it was done before. And that would also substantiate and qualify as some novel impact, novel addition to the existing knowledge in that area. When we look at impact, we're talking about impact in the context of the societal impact, right? Is this invention likely to have a very minimal impact for only one and a few persons in the society, or is it something that is likely to have the potential for broader impact, right? Across society, across maybe different schools or business organizations? Is it across government sector? Is it across rural communities and villages? Is it an impact that is going to be targeting a particular group, for example, the disabled community, for example, or to assist women or children? This is what we're looking for, a thing that can have some meaningful impact, positive impact on the wider society. Sustainability, we're talking about then in the context of this invention, something that is not only a one-off. That is like a prototype that can never have the prospect of becoming real, right? So sustainability is something that the invention has in it, the means to sustain itself. It's not so expensive and so out of the ordinary that it cannot be, reproduced, and it cannot be sustained to be a viable product out there. And this is again linked into business viability. Is this a product that has some demand or potential demand in the marketplace, right? Is there a viable product that can be developed out of this that we can then assist you to connect with potential investors, potential manufacturers or marketers, etc., who might want to, through seeing some business opportunity, invest in your invention, right? And so this is also important as we look at the viability of it in terms of the marketplace and the practical realities of today. Teamwork. So teamwork, again, as I said, we are emphasizing teamwork, not to say that you can't have individual ideas, but those ideas oftentimes are enhanced and strengthened by cooperation with other like-minded individuals. So we're encouraging teams, and teamwork is an important criteria in the judging to ensure that, again, we get used to working with people, working with each other, being able to have people strengthen our ideas and assist us on the way to success, right? And of course, building a successful business, successful product of any type, you have to have certain teamwork skills. It's an important criterion for us. And lastly, prototype or proof of concept. So this now talks about the requirement that it can be something simply that's in your head, something simply that has no means for us and even yourself to prove its realistic viability, right? Proof of concept. Can this thing really work as opposed to being purely theoretical? So we want something that has the ability that can, be, shown and demonstrated, not just through drawings, but if possible by building a prototype to demonstrate to the judges that this thing is not merely an idea, but that it's a concept which has real practical potential. So these are the 7 criteria, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 criteria that we are looking at as being a part of the judging. So in designing, in thinking about and presenting your innovation or invention, please consider these criteria and how you are able to demonstrate them through what you submit. Of course, the nice, interesting part, the incentives that you have, right? The prizes and the awards. So for the first place, you have a cash prize of $500,000 Jamaican dollars. $500,000 for the first prize, first place winner in our innovation competition. You also have the opportunity to collaborate with successful companies to commercialize your ideas. We get help to refine your business plan around the product or the innovation, as well as mentorship to best see how we can assist to carry this forward past the competition to have some practical life and livelihood possibly out of it. Second place, we have a cash prize of $250,000 Jamaican dollars, 2,000 Jamaican dollars, and as well business plan refinement assistance. So to assist you not only with some cash to further your ideas, further your invention and innovation, maybe to also invest and do some promotion yourself, and we help you with the business plan refinement around that. And for the third place, we have a cash prize of 100,000 Jamaican dollars, and this, of course, will go to third place winner, third best innovation entry, and this will hopefully be able to assist you to, again, strengthen your innovative ideas. So why do we seek to innovate? Why do persons seek to spend time to do research and development, to develop ideas and to test them to see if they can help in the real world? What's the motivation to do so? Apart from, of course, earning, financial returns, which of course is a great motivation. Apart from also getting credit as a, recognized scientist is also good, right? There oftentimes is that motivation to solve a problem that we've identified in society that holds us back, that slows us down, that keeps us from making as much as we can make. And therefore, that is oftentimes the motivation to innovate. People are trying to recognize where they can solve a problem through providing some technical solution. And so we think of innovation, we think of then, therefore, new things, new ideas new ways of doing something, right? An improved way of doing something, a more efficient, as I said, way of doing something. Innovation differs from invention in that it has been commercialized rather than remain in the idea-only state, right? And so we want to go beyond inventions to carry forth the innovations, and of course, to also go to, as I'll talk about shortly, registration of intellectual property, right? These are, again, the building blocks that assist in terms of communities, organizations, individuals, businesses, and even countries being able to upskill themselves by being able to raise the bar in terms of their technical capacities and capabilities, right? And again, we know that we have a lot of creative persons among us, right? Oftentimes just to have the tools, the assistance, and the roadmap to be able to chart a path to success. So where to get innovative ideas and how to turn them into reality, right? So one of the things that we at GP want to do, of course, is to assist to foster a culture of innovation, right? And this means that not just when you see competitions arise that you really are searching for innovation, but really to foster ongoing, thirst to want to find creative solutions through new and innovative inventions. And so what we want to encourage is the culture of innovation. That's why we've really sought to focus with this competition on the youth and institutions of learning, so that we have the ability to work with the colleges and universities to get the persons who have this interest to invent and innovate and to assist them, in a practical way. So this is a part of what we're doing with this competition, aiming to foster this culture of innovation, right? To think outside of the box. We also want to, of course, encourage, as we said, teamwork and brainstorming, collectively, sharing ideas, identifying challenges, and trying to find solutions together, right? This is important, again, in the creative process. If you think of how music is created, think of how sports is created, how art and crafts are done. It's oftentimes done in a collective way, right? Where ideas are being shared, innovations are discussed, you get feedback from colleagues, and we're able to build, stronger outcomes and inventive products and services. And so we want to be able to have that, again, through the competition, to be able to assist persons who have similar mindsets, right? To come together and to be able to feed off of one another to strengthen our ideas. We want to also encourage research, and it takes research, right, to be able to turn these ideas into reality. After you research the science and the technical side of things, there's also research on the business side of things, right? Has this product already been done somewhere else? Is it something that was not here in Jamaica? Has it been already created in another part of the world, right? We have, through online databases, the ability to search for hundreds of thousands of new ideas and inventions that have been patented, right, across the world in different intellectual property offices, to see how they are doing their innovations and inventions, to see what is out there in different areas of agribusiness and science and chemistry, biochemistry, physics, engineering. All these areas we are able to, with a search engine like Google, click and find a lot of already out there published innovations. And so through research, we're able to see what is cutting edge, right? In first world countries, developed countries, in Europe, in the USA, in Africa, in New Zealand, in Australia, in Canada, in Latin America. We're able to see these things and to see what we have in Jamaica, and therefore to identify where the gaps are, right? And try to learn and be motivated and inspired by others, and then identify and innovate ideas and concepts to fit and suit our local realities, right? And to help solve our local problems. And so that is what we want to do, right? Not just to think about innovation in an abstract way or in a way that is only for the classroom or for a degree or a qualification academically, which is important, but of course also beyond that for what is a realistic, practical contribution to society. And of course, it can be also a business livelihood for you as an inventor, as a scientist. Implement and scale. So we want, of course, also, I think, as I was saying earlier, have ideas and innovations that are not just purely theoretical, but then that they have a potential to be upscaled, to be upsized, and to be implemented within a real world situation, right? Whether in a part of Jamaica, all of Jamaica, the region, the wider world, you know, the globe. I mean, right now with today's technology, we can stay right here in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, invent something. It has global success, right? And we can do that just through, again, you know, being inventive, thinking outside of the box, identifying certain problems, and looking at and studying and researching and finding solutions. We also want to measure our efforts, right? When we think of research and development, R&D, we think of then measuring our effort, the extent of our research time that we spend, the extent of our equipment that we need to invest in, the extent of the value of getting persons with other ideas to comment and share and strengthen our ideas. All of this we need to be able to measure, to put up appropriate value, right, in a business context on the final outcomes, and then to be able to know how to negotiate and market and price and benefit from these in the global world, right? And so these are really building blocks, as I say, towards these steps, right? Even though we're, you know, in the Caribbean, you know, when we see ourselves as developing countries and small island developing states, we have proven that we have the creativity to make global impacts. I think it's no different in terms of science and technology. So let's look at a few student innovators, right, who have made their impact in a global way. We have Edward Tian, for example, a student from Kingston University in the US. He built an app called GPT-0, which can detect whether text is written by the popular chatbot ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT has been causing a lot of problems out there in terms of AI, right, including in universities and so forth, where students are using these bots to be able to, you know, produce answers to questions for assignments and exams, you know. So this is a way that allows institutions, right, like universities, maybe also employers and others, right, who want to deal with a real person and to have standards to test person's abilities rather than to be tricked by AI, to have some means of doing that. So this is not something that's only going to be applicable to his university or to even his country, but will have global appeal because of the global impact of ChatGPT. So an innovation by a student that has a global footprint. You can look at also some local examples. We have some Jamaica College students, Corey Smith, Justin Linton, Zion Bennett, and Linville McCullough. They created what's called Vision Illuminate, an innovation aimed at assisting visually impaired persons to reduce their dependency on use of their white cane and or their dog, right? So again, something that is addressing a real life problem through a real life applicable, practical solution, right? Again, done by students working together in teams. Right? So we know that there are no limitations in what we can do. We have great science teachers at our institution. We have very gifted and talented students who are motivated, right? Oftentimes, again, I just need some encouragement. That's what we hope to be able to do with this competition. So I want to talk a bit about how to protect your intellectual property, which is an important part of being able to see your inventions and innovations as opportunities for livelihood, right? For practical livelihoods and careers, right? And revenue streams for yourselves and your families. So what do we mean by intellectual property rights? Well, we mean legal rights which result from some intellectual activity in the scientific, industrial, literary, artistic, musical, and or dramatic fields. IP rights give the IP owner, one, the right to prevent unauthorized copying, sale, offers for sale, use, or passing off of our IP rights, our creative outputs, which are not theirs, right? And gives us the right as IP owners to also compensation for infringement. So when persons use our creativity, use our creations, our inventions, our intellectual property, without our consent, we are entitled by law to compensation for that, right? So this area of intellectual property rights, we call it IP rights for short, is really geared towards ensuring that our creatives amongst us in the world are incentivized through a set of exclusive rights that they and they alone can exercise, and to the means to commercialize, to require terms and conditions, which include financial terms and conditions for the use of our inventions, our songs, our music, our art, literature, photography, etc. Right? That's what IP rights are for. So IP rights is an area of law that is created precisely for persons who are innovative and inventive and are creative and creating things that once you create them, it becomes your property. It's like your laptop or your phone, a motor vehicle, or your, your bicycle. It's an asset that belongs to you, or to your company. It's valuable, even different and separate from the physical, tangible assets that we may possess, right? The IP rights still exist in it. So, for example, I might go and buy a book at the bookstore. I own that book that I bought from the bookstore, right? But the author of that book owns the copyright in that book. And therefore, anywhere that that book is sold around the world, the author is supposed to get a percentage of revenue from the sale of that book, right? And the author alone is authorized to basically give consent for a person to use sections and parts of the book, right? Same way how if an artist from overseas uses a sample of a song from a dancehall artist in Jamaica, then the overseas artist and his company is supposed to be paying some royalties, we call it, royalties, to the artist in Jamaica and the local producer for use of a piece of the copyright of the artist and the producer, right? So the same how IP rights works. And that is how we are able to commercialize this, because people like attractive things, whether it's music, art, literature, or inventions, and they want to use them. To do so simply means paying an appropriate fee to do so. That fee goes back to the IP owner. So IP rights forms a part of the business valuation of your business or your company, right? It's essential to maximize profit, right, as it were, because again, you may not necessarily sell a lot of physical objects, but your business can make money from licensing intellectual property. If you have a new invention that you have created, a new product, a new device or something, then you can license somebody else, whether in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, or internationally, to produce a product and to distribute and manufacture on a global scale that product for global distribution, right? And that is something that, again, enables you to maximize the profits you can make on your invention, right? Without you having to go into your own pocket to go and manufacture this product and so forth. You're able to license other people to do so for you. They do the lot of heavy building, and you can earn some of the profits by virtue of being the inventor, creator, author of this property right, right? And most importantly, these property rights that you have in your inventions, right, and your innovations can be bought, sold, as I said, licensed, and also willed. So you can also leave it in your will to your wife, your husband, your children, your parents, your grandchildren, and they can continue to earn from it because, you know, the rights, therefore, even continue to exist in some respects after you are no longer here with us. Right? So it's very worth it for you being an inventor, being a scientist, being a creative person, to invest in the registration and protection of intellectual property rights, because it's a secure way to be able to, one, earn money from your creativity, and to secure and to hone the value, right, of your creativity by virtue of maximizing and commercializing your property rights in these inventions, right? So we can think of the family of intellectual property rights as something like this. This diagram is trying to show you that intellectual property rights is broad, right? It covers many different types of creativity in different areas, right? So we have, for example, trade secrets on the extreme left there, trade secrets in the top there first. And that is looking at, you know, how certain things you may do in your business, you know, you manufacture your products or your inventions that you keep secret. Don't tell anybody, only you or your employees know. And that is something that you can then also maintain as confidential, thereby having a commercial advantage of other people who may not know exactly how you do what you do, right? That means that anybody who wants to do something like that or similar have to come to you to get your permission to use it, or they have to pay you to use it, you know? So trade secrets is something that does not require registration per se, and it really just means that you have to keep the information secret per se. I'm actually going to go through these in separate for the most part, but I'll give an overview here. So industrial property, again, is another subcategory of intellectual property. And here we're talking about things like industrial designs, patents, trademarks, geographical indications, and plant breeders' rights. So all of these fall under what we call industrial property, right? And so these industrial designs, I'll talk about later, just now talking about designs of different things and articles. Patents covers inventions in science and technology. Under patents, we have what we have in Jamaica more recently called utility modules. That is now like a form of a patent, but less onerous in terms of the technical requirements, you know, to get that registered. But also something that is there to legally protect inventions and innovations. Now, trademarks. Trademarks are signs and symbols, you know, that you can use to promote your particular brand or your business or yourself. Geographical indications relating more now to things that are having to do with agriculture for the most part, and ensuring that they are authentic agricultural based or handicraft products that we are using, you know, to be able to maximize the premium value, for example, in a Jamaica, or Jamaica Aki, for example, or in a Jamaica sorrel, you know, Jamaica ginger. Right? These are things that are globally well known because Jamaica has a brand name for, you know, and a reputation for these kinds of agricultural-based products. So government indications ensures authenticity of these kinds of indications or signs. And then we have plant breeders' rights, which is now not yet in place fully in Jamaica, although should be in coming months, looking at the rights of new plant variety breeder, people who are breeding new types of plants, you know, that of course also in due course will be available for registration under intellectual property rights. Right? So IP rights, again, looking at a broader range of creativity. I want to give a bit more detail about these. Right? So let's start with patents. So as I explained a while ago, patents now covers scientific, technological based inventions. Invention is an idea which permits in practice the solution to a specific problem in the field of technology. Right? A patent is the title in the intellectual property title, like when you have a land title, you have a patent, which is a title granted for the protection of an invention, which meets the prescribed criteria, which it must be new, as I said earlier, which is like what we call novelty earlier, right? So that doesn't exist before or doesn't exist in that way before. Must involve an inventive step, so it must go beyond, the invention must go technically, scientifically beyond, a step beyond what was already known previously in regard to that area of science and technology. And then thirdly, it must be capable of industrial application, meaning that it must be capable of being industrialized on a commercial scale, right, to benefit a wider part of the population. So once your invention meets these criteria, you can be entitled to apply for a patent, which again gives you a legal protection for 20 years, where nobody else can use, you know, sample, sell, manufacture, distribute your invention that is patented without your prior permission. That's how you can therefore be able to earn something from it. Right? Now, we have certain things which are not allowed to be patented. So you can't patent, for example, plants or animals, including DNA and cells, other than microorganisms. You can't patent essentially biological processes for producing plants and animals, other than, again, non-biological and microbiological processes. Right? So we can't patent in Jamaica new plants or new plant varieties or new animal varieties. Right? You can't patent plant and seed varieties. You can't patent the human body in its developmental stages, whole or in part. And you can't patent any inventions, implementation of which would be contrary to public order or morality, or cause serious prejudice to the environment or injury to human, animal, or plant life or health. Right? So you have a few exclusions, and a few more here. Methods of surgical or therapeutic treatment and of diagnosis of the human body. So these things they say should not be patented because they should be available for all to use in the advancement of healthcare and such. Right? Discovery, scientific theory, or mathematical methods can't be also patented. Neither can any scheme, rule, or method for performing a mental act or doing business or for playing a game. Literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic works, which are really copyright stuff, can't be patented. Neither can the presentation of mere information, how it's formatted and so forth. So all of those things can't be patented, but outside of that, you can't get a patent for an invention once it meets the criteria of being new, involve an inventive step, and is industrially applicable. Now, how do you apply to register a patent? You must file your application at the Jamaica Intellectual Property Office, JIPO, which includes an abstract of the invention, a specification of the invention, which contains a description of the invention, one or more claims, which means you have to detail out in claims one by one what the invention uniquely does, right? And any drawings which detail or illustrate how the invention works. Trying to change this page here. Let's see, right. So we have utility models, which, as I say, are like lesser patents. They're also patents as well, but they don't require inventive steps. So you can register your utility model once it's new, keep up with industrial application, but doesn't have to necessarily have a scientifically technical criterion of inventive step. Similarly, these must be filed at JIPO. Now they're registered, and these are valid for 10 years after registration. So we have another IP right, as I mentioned earlier, industrial designs. Now these cover the ornamental or aesthetic aspect of an article. So how a particular thing is shaped, it could be a cell phone or a laptop or some other bicycle or instrument or equipment or device. How it's particularly shaped and designed can be registered to the designer as an industrial design right. IP right, same way, you can get if your design is new, has an individual character, and is not contrary to public order or morality. When we say individual character, we mean that overall, even though it might have some similarities to some other product, overall, it gives the user a distinctive impression overall from other similar products. So this is valid for 5 years, but you can renew it every 5 years. Again, this can be applied to clothes, to shoes, other kinds of things that we might want to, get more fashionable with on a commercial scale here in Jamaica or elsewhere. Now, again, the law says that certain things cannot be registrable as designs, and these include if your design has the coat of arms, national flag, or any almoral bearings or national emblems or symbols of Jamaica. It will not be registrable unless, again, the government of Jamaica consents the use of these national items. It has the country name of Jamaica, map or colors of Jamaica, names or abbreviations of other countries, national flags or emblems or symbols of other countries, emblems of other and names and abbreviations of other international organizations. Those would need their consent, right? If you have any trademarks in your design, you have to have the consent of the trademark owner. Same thing for any copyright works, any individual's images or likenesses used in your design need, again, their consent, as well as if you use any traditional knowledge, TK, or traditional cultural expressions of indigenous or local communities, such as Rastafari or Maroon communities, culture in your designs, you would also be refused unless you get appropriate consent. Now, trademarks is another set of IP rights. These cover now particular symbols that you might be used to, logos, right? So we see GP's logo right here, World Perspectives in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And we all know many other logos out there for different businesses and services. And so, again, you as an inventor, as a person with a business, might want to use a trademark to promote your business name or your company name, or even to promote the name of your product. Let's say you're creating a new bicycle, right? That allows you to ride on, let's say, you're riding on 6 wheels, for example, so that's never been done before. And you want to brand this product and call it some kind of, super cycle. And you're doing that to market it online and so forth in stores. That's a brand name, a trademark you can also register for that brand you have invented, right? So again, allow the public to represent it and recognize it, use it to market and promote your products and your services and yourself. And that way to bring more, customers and more income to you by virtue of your creativity. It may be a symbol, a name, logo, shape, color, even odors, like a certain particular smell or a particular sound as distinctive of you or your product, or a combination of the above. It must be distinctive. Sorry, that says it must not be distinctive. That is a error. It should say the trademark must be distinctive to be registrable. So it cannot be identical or similar to any previously registered or pre-existing trademark. Trademarks, of course, can be registered at JIPO, and you have to fill out the application form with a copy or representation of the trademark you want to register, as well as a statement of the goods and or services for which you intend to have the trademark registered. You want to do so at JIPO, right? Well, trademarks are valid for 10 years, right? And so for 10 years, you have the trademark. Nobody else can use any brand that sound like or look like your trademark. Now, geographical indication. This one I mentioned earlier concerns primarily agricultural-based products and handicrafts. So a geographical indication, it says here, is an indication which identifies a good as originating in the territory of a country or region or locality. In that territory, where a given quality, reputation, or other characteristic of the good is essentially attributable to its geographical origin, right? And so as I mentioned earlier, things like Jamaica ginger, Jamaica, jerk, Jamaica acne. These things that, again, because of the link to Jamaica, we're saying that only does it come from Jamaica, it has certain quality and characteristics and reputation because it comes from Jamaica. So we say our ginger is particularly strong, right? And of course, ackee and Jamaica is intrinsic because it's our national fruit, and few people around the world eat ackee. So things that I'm saying we can also use as a form of intellectual capital, right? If you are, for example, working, researching, innovating in the agricultural-based sectors, and you are looking at how to maximize the opportunities to farmers, for example, in a particular, crop or product, you might want to then say how we can incorporate, some criteria that would meet to be attached to and to be able to call your product an authentic Jamaican sorrel product. Right now, Jamaica castor oil, right? Very important product right now that people are wanting overseas in droves. They want a drop of it for the hair, for the skin, etc. And we don't, as yet, have a properly organized industry locally to supply that demand, and that's where they get the fakes coming in. People are making the fake knockoff Jamaica castor oil and making money out of it, right? And so if we can put some things in place though to stop the fakes, to create the space and to have the opportunity for the real creatives to make money out of these things, that would be better for us individually and as a country. Now, this list here you see has a host of different types of products which could be geographical indications. So Jamaican beverages and spirits that could include like roots, drinks, and so forth. The type of spices, nutmeg and busy and such. Agricultural produce, yam and banana. Baked wares like gizzada and greater cake, for example. Confectionery, other foods, wellness products, different herbal salts and teas. Pharmaceutical products, wood, lignan vitae and such, for example. Minerals, like, as we know, coming from certain beaches and rocks, and non-agricultural craft, religious and cultural items, which can also come from different communities, like the Rastafari community, Maroon community, Revival community, etc., that have some historic and some cultural, resonance. So all these things are, again, can be branded with Jamaica spice, or maybe it's a Boston jerk, maybe it's a St. Elizabeth time, you know what I mean? Or maybe it is a Westmoreland cannabis-based product, for example. All these things are part of what, you know, are susceptible to innovation and can be used in the marketplace to further your commercial opportunities through your creativity. So plant breeders' rights. Plant breeders' rights, we look at finally then, as I said before, is really where you have a new plant variety that has been developed, which is new, distinct, uniform, and stable. So again, a new variety of the cannabis plant, for example, which is more resilient to illness and disease. Something that can be, for example, like for pumpkin or for papaya or for watermelon or for yam, that brings more healthier yields, right? And more affordable ways to manage it and so forth. All these things can be developed again through research and science and applying different techniques of science to your environment. All right, so trade secrets I mentioned earlier, also you must keep it secret. And by that, you have the advantage of only you and you alone knowing how that is done. That therefore is a form of protection that can be a part of what you also consider your IP, part of your do-it-yourself IP in your IP portfolio. So let's go into some questions then about the competition. So how do you enter the competition? So to enter the competition, GP Innovate 2023, you must complete and submit an application form, a business plan, and proof of enrollment for all your group members. Enrollment meaning you must be enrolled at a university or college in Jamaica and receive permission from that institution to participate. Example, from your president or your dean, etc. You must be a group to enter. At least 2 persons or more persons in a group are required to enter as a team. Applications are now open at this point in time, and you can go to the GP Innovate website, and they will close on November 24, as this month, approximately 3 weeks from now. And the finals and the award ceremony will be on the 28th of November at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. You can scan this barcode here or visit Agro-processing.co to enter the competition, right? So I'll give you a few seconds if you want to click that barcode quickly, and then we can conclude, and then we can look at some questions that you may want to ask of me. All right, so how do you do a 2-minute pitch? Well, a 3-minute pitch, you should introduce yourself and your team, take the problem that you're trying to solve, talk about the problem of how your idea or your innovation solve that problem, state what the solution you have found is in particular, and talk about your financial projections, the marketplace, the demand, what kind of price may work, how you will see that this thing can have some viable economic return. And then you wrap up in a 2-minute, in a 2 important points you make from your pitch as you conclude. That will be your 3-minute pitch. So be prepared also to do this. So maybe ask of you to talk to a potential investor or judge, etc. So also this will help you to be clearly articulating, right, what you are about and how you meet the criteria for judging outlined in the competition. Right? Think of it as you would, maybe if those of you who might have watched a Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, or you pitch to these investors is going to be important and help you also to refine your ideas to meet a global marketplace. All right, so I'm going to open the floor for questions and answers. I see there are a few things in the chat. Let me see what's in the chat. I don't see the questions. Yes, there's questions here in the chat. I can answer these questions. I see it. No, I want to see. No, that would look like Hazel, the AI assistant. Thanks, Hazel. What I see there? I don't see. So as the floor is open, if you want to unmute, you can do so. Or you want to type a question in the chat or in the Q&A, you can also do so. Right, the website again, www.growthperspectives.co, and the deadline is the 24th of November to enter the competition. And the finals are on the 28th of November. So all that happening next month. And so you are welcome, I say, to ask the questions now, or whether you want to email us to ask questions if you want privately. Please feel free. You can visit the website for contact details. And of course, we look forward to engaging with you to assist you along the way. All right, so those are the questions. I don't know if there's anything else that I should mention. Dr. Allen? Okay. All right. So it's been a pleasure being here with you this morning to discuss this exciting competition, GP Innovate 2023. Look forward to receiving your applications, to your interest, and to your ideas, and to see how we can assist you to take them further beyond. Thanks, and have a good rest of the day and week.